Get on to rock, get up to burn, stand with the pride, never feel your desire. One day I noticed that my life was broken. It was not me who was controlling this body. Oh, I want to know what's really real to me. Before it vanishes like a wave. Get on the rock, get up the burn. Stand with the pride on me, the ways to make it. You must have heard it. Grasp the truth, hold it high. Right the peace, that's what this made to start with. You haven't heard it, girl. Don't be afraid to listen to your own heart. Big the sonic, that's my heartbeat in you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League Spike Magazine Trophy. It's week number 1. We're underway. More Blood Bowls, second competition of the season. And tonight, man, I don't know how I feel about tonight. We have a lot to talk about before this game gets started. Tonight, it's going to be the friendly neighbor Kaiju versus the Dinnerbell Darlings. Merrick versus Doug the Minotaur. Lizards versus Dwarves. And what a matchup it'll be. Let's first take a look at the standings. Over in Division A, the Knights of Nuffle, the current league champions, are sitting in first place with their win against the Masters of MAML this week. The Dead Presidents played to a draw against Skitter Twitch Die last night. They are currently in second place. But tonight it's Division B. The Arendelle Icebreakers are in first place with their win against the Mocking Scratchers. They won 4-0. It's going to be very tough to dethrone them here in the first week of competition, but the friendly neighbor Kaiju and the Dinnerbell Darlings are going to go at it here tonight. Dinnerbell Darlings coming in as runners-up to the Chaos Cup. They're advancing to the Blood Bowl in the lower bracket, but they're going to try to win here and try to advance to the upper bracket. First up, let's take a look at this home team, the friendly neighbor Kaiju. Merrick's team coming at a TV of 1,000. He switched out the Amazon team for this Lizard team. So it's a fresh team coming into this competition, and you can see he's got a 12-player roster, 5 Sauruses, no Crocs, doesn't have the 6 Saurus, a whole bunch of Skinks. He traded out that Saurus for that extra reroll. He felt he needed it here. 3 team rerolls, nothing else on staff here. Pretty simple roster, but we'll talk about the consequences in just a bit. He'll be up against the Dinnerbell Darlings coming in a whopping 14-20 by comparison. Also a 12-player roster. He has Kevin Bacon, the level 4 runner. Kevin Bacon has block, has an extra point of strength 4, and he has tackle as well. Look at all this block. Every single player except for Guac Holiday has the block skill. He has 7 players with the guard skill as well. Gravy Crockett Jr., the number 4 Troll Slayer, coming in to fill in the shoes of his late father. He's going to try to make a name for himself in this league. 2 blitzers, General Custard, General So. Both have the guard skill, and one has Mighty Blow, and then all these long beards. 5 of the 7 have guard. 3 TRRs, 1 apothecary, 7 fan factor. How do these two teams play? Oh man, let's just get this out of the way. On paper, I've got to give it to the Dinnerbell Darlings. I was thinking about this before the pregame. I don't know what the friendly neighbor Kaiju do in this matchup. So they have 5 Sauruses with a strength of 4. That's usually pretty good, but he's up against a whole lot of block tonight. So he's going to be getting, he's going to be seeing a lot of 4v4 tonight, maybe even more than that. He has a whole bunch of Skinks. They're at an AV7. He wanted that extra reroll. Now, of course, he didn't know he would draw the Dinnerbell Darlings in week 1. He didn't even know if he'd be playing them in this competition. He might have been in a different division. But here we are. And this matchup, I think, is pretty fairly lopsided. It's going to be very, very difficult, I think, for the friendly neighbor Kaiju to come out ahead in this game. He's going to have to play absolutely on point. Typically, he'd want to protect the Skinks, but I don't think he can, not with 5 Sauruses. And those skinks can't come in for the assist either. That's the big hurt, right? You can bring in a skink in usually for an assist, maybe start to chain block some players or block down a whole line of players. But with all this guard, that's just really not going to happen. So it's going to be really, really tough. The big boon, of course, is that he's getting a whopping 420,000 gold in petty cash tonight. There's a whole ton of stuff he can do with that. He could pick up the babes, right? He could pick up the babes to keep those skinks a little more resilient. He could pick up bribes. He could pick up more than one bribe if he wants to go ham on the fouls and try to get the player advantage that way. Honestly, that if he wants to go full foul, that'd probably be his best bet to try to get player advantage. But I don't know if that's necessarily the right strategic call. Wizards are always an option, but he has his choice of star players as well. He can't afford Morgan Thorg, but I would never suggest anyone take Morgan Thorg anyway. But he's got a number of star players he can pick up as Lizardmen. I think two of them, in my opinion, are probably good picks. He can pick up Helmet. We've seen Helmet before. Helmet is the loony. He has a chainsaw. He's a secret weapon player. He can also pick up Slibley. This is a Saurus he can pick up for 250, I believe. He's a Saurus, so Strength 4, AG1, AV9. He picks up an extra point of movement, so he's an MA7 Saurus. He has block, grab, guard, and stand firm. Not a bad star player at all. He has some options for star players that are more passing oriented, but why? Why? I think if I were him, I'd go for Slibley, and probably I love the Wizard, man. I think Wizards are really good. Maybe I'm going to preface this by saying I almost always take a Wizard if I can, because I think they're really, 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 really good. But maybe in this case, a Wizard's not the option. But if you picked one, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't think it's bad necessarily. I just really haven't done the calculus on it. He might be better served with some babes or some bribes or a combination of those. But we'll see. We'll see. He wanted that extra reroll. We'll see if he can actually leverage the... Berserker Tempest, thank you for the sub. It's very kind. I very much appreciate it. He says Wizards are worse than the Halfling Master Chef. Halfling Master Chef, also one of my favorite inducements. But yeah, I think Helmet might be good. Slibley might be good. He can even afford both if he wants them, but Helmet would be a secret weapon. He'd only be out on the pitch for a drive. Otherwise, he's up against these really, really tough dwarves. They're skilled up. They have the guard they want. Lots of block to go around. He's got General Custer with Mighty Blow. He's got Gravy Crockett Jr., who's the Frenzy Blitzer. He's got Kevin Bacon, who is strong. He's a menace. It's gonna be very, very tough, I think, for the Friendly Neighbor Kaiju. But you know what? He is a Lizard team. They're pretty good at any TV. So we'll see if he can pull it off here tonight. All right, let's see if the two coaches are ready to go. And if they are, we will head over to Cabal TV. Looks like they are. Strategic advice for the Friendly Neighbor Kaiju? Pray to Nuffle. Pray to Nuffle. That's what you do. Berserker Tempest asks, these two in Division B? Yes, they are. Berserker Tempest says, Nuffle doesn't help you. You just gotta pray. You just gotta pray to Nuffle. That's what you gotta do. If Nuffle doesn't provide, you have to look inward. There you go, exactly like that. Clive is praying to Nuffle. That's right. It's probably going to be a bit of a lengthy inducement phase here because there's just so much money for the Friendly Neighbor Kaiju to spend. That's right. Sweet Bunny says, always praise Nuffle. Of course, you must. It's going to be a bit of a lengthy inducement phase here while Merrick considers his options with his petty cash. Again, I sure did, didn't I? Hey. That was. Fun fact, the debated emote is based off of Alex Jabali, who is a member of the fighting game community. Very good guy. He runs the CEO tournament in Orlando. It says, see, Nuffle blessed me with the longest song with random after all that pray. All right, still waiting for this game to get underway here. I wouldn't be surprised if Merrick... Sorry, I have to I have to play mod duties. I wouldn't be surprised if Merrick picked up two star players. I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up Slibley and some bribes, or maybe a bribe and a babe, or maybe even a wizard. I don't know how helpful the wizard would be, truth be told. He picked up the wizard. You know what? I'm not going to complain about a wizard. All right. He's got the wizard. What is happening? Why does he only have a wizard? 4, 5. Oh, he got the Crocs. So he picked up a mercenary Crocs. That'll give him that extra strength. Looks like the Dinnerbell Darlings are going to set up on defense to start with here. They've got the +1 fame advantage naturally. Friendly neighbor Kaiju coming in with a babe, a wizard, and a merc Crocs. So remember, that's a merc, which would typically be a loner, but it's a big guy anyway, so not really a big loss there. Wait, how do you... Yeah, that's right. S'mores Dragon says, rooting for the underdog. Smash those dinner-themed dwarves. Smash those dinner-themed dwarves. Those delicious meal-based dwarves. Dinnerbell Darlings going with an anchor formation on defense. Clive says, I just want the dwarves to lose some players before I have to play them again. Currently 5 Sarses on the line and a Crocs. Trying to set up where his 4 skinks will go. He brought that Merc Crocs. That means he's going to have 2 skinks in reserve and a babe to help out on the KOs should he need it. And he will. Here's the kick. Oh boy, it's a riot. We're going to be down a turn in this game. Kicked right into the hands of... Just noticed all the players on the Friendly Neighbor Kaiju are named after Monster Hunter monsters. Well done. I appreciate it. I appreciate the references. Ball was kicked into the hands of number 15 skink Pookie Pookie. I love Monster Hunter very much. Dude, I block to start things off. He's going to get the PAL here on the defensive, the center defensive tackle, Queso Bill. He's going to try to block down this line first. I would protect this ball. That's why. I forgot the PAL here on the reroll. I would very much protect this ball. Breaks armor, gets an injury on the big Ragu. Well done to start this game. On the reroll, got the PAL. Broke armor on these dwarves that are very, very tough to remove from the pitch. Berserker Tempest says, oh man, makes me want to load Rise again and get past the beginning. Rise is great. I love Rise. I mean, I love all the Monster Hunters, but Rise is a lot of fun. The movement options with the wire bug's really cool. Clifus asks, what was the injury? I think it's just miss next game. Holy moly, he's moving this ball across the line of scrimmage to the 6-yard line. All right. Wow. He's already marked. He's marked by Butch Casserole. Butch Casserole does have the guard skill. That can very easily be a 2-die blitz coming back against the number 5 Saurus. 2-die block on the line gets a push. Decides to follow up. It's going to keep that Saurus, that Diablos, locked down here for another turn. Gonna end this turn with an attempted blitz by the Croxagore, but it's not going to work out due to Boneheaded. When you're a Boneheaded, roll a d6 before you take your action. You can take your action so long as you don't roll a 1. If you roll a 1, you're going to stare off into space. Not only will you stare off into space, you're going to lose your tackle zones as well until you pass that Boneheaded roll in a future turn. Well, we'll see if he can hang on to this ball. There's the assist. 2 assists now on number 5. Three marks, 3 assists on number 5. Doesn't take the blitz, takes the blocks instead, because the blitz, unnaturally, is going to come up against the ball carrier. Good knockdown. He can get, oh, he already has the 1 assist. If he wants to blitz with Kevin Bacon, that'll be a 3-die block against the ball carrier. He's probably trying to decide if he wants to blitz with Kevin Bacon or if he wants to pick the ball up with Kevin Bacon. Spores Dragon says the Skinks kind of do have a Puke face. They kind of do. He is going to take the blitz with Kevin Bacon. 3-die blitz. He got the pal. Where's the ball going to scatter? Scatters comfortably back a space for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. I am going to call them the friendly neighborhood Kaiju. I know I am. I think Doug the Minotaur is probably going to pull back Gravy Crockett Jr. to play safety. Takes a 2-die block on the line, gets a pal. Indeed he will. Can't let this skink get away with a free dodge. Turn 3. Would be turn 2. Turn 3 back to the friendly neighbor Kaiju. Oh, I hope he's not thinking about that fireball. Oh, I don't think this is the time. But we'll see. Went super aggressive on that attempted cage up. Didn't work out. I would have been quite content to just protect the ball right here. I would have been cool. Here's the blitz. 1-die blitz on Kevin Bacon. Gets a push. It's going to be a chain push. Oh boy, he's going to leave this scatter into the hands of Nuffle. Wow. Wow. Holy moly. All right. All right. Is he going to take a 1-die block? Moves the Crocs into position into this scrum over in the right wide zone. There's 1 mark. Here's 2 marks. Looks like he might take the block with number 16. Indeed he will. He'll get the knockdown as well. Looks like number 14 will come in to pick this ball up. .34 seconds left in turn number 3 for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. Doesn't go for the ball pickup. He's going to move in to lend the assist against this block instead. Currently 5-4. Nope, decides to pick the ball up. Second guess. Fair enough. Got the ball. We'll see how safe he is. 2-die block now, thanks to that ball carrier. Spends a reroll. He's down the 1. Got the pal on Kevin Bacon. Stood up number 15. Turn 3 now for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Darlings with all 3 rerolls. It's only turn 3. But the friendly neighbor Kaiju down to 1. They do have a wizard on deck. 2-die block to kick things off will be a POW against number 15. Breaks armor. Gets a KO. 10v10 on the pitch. Sweet Bunny asks, what was hurt? The big Ragu was injured. He's out. And then there was a KO on the number 15 skink. One minute into the turn, Doug the Minotaur weighing up his options here. He's going to play some defense, get in front of the number 5 Saurus. Takes the 1-die block. Has to re-roll this double skulls. And that's a turnover. Tried to remove that central piece. Didn't work out on the 1-die block. And now on a 2-die block, Gravy Crockett Jr. It's going to be taken to the ground. 2-die block coming up on the Sunday Kid. Gets a POW as well. This frees up a lane for the ball carrier. Breaks armor. Gets a stun. And somehow, this is working out for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. They've opened up a lane. They just need to park in front of a couple of dwarves. And they're in great shape to score here. Probably see him move the ball carrier first. Yes, indeed. There he goes. There he goes. Now he just needs to take some marks. Probably eat up some tackle zones, but that's okay. Pulls in a skink to protect the ball carrier. Takes a mark in front of General So. Gets a push. Has lots of players to move still. He's got to move these skinks down pitch. He's going to move one in for the assist. 2-die block. Gets the POW. Gets the POW on Soy Rogers. Doesn't have the 2-die with number 4. Oh, he does have the 2-die. He's going to take it here. Well done. Livey says he could blitz with that dwarf and get a block on the ball carrier, but that's a pretty big risk. Yeah, I agree. Foul with a skink, as you do. Doesn't break armor. But I think that's a great call. I was on Gravy Crockett. Turn 4 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. They've got to pull a miracle out of their pocket here. try to stop this score. GFI to get the block on the Crocs. 2-die block, got the PAL. That's going to free up General So to try to make this blitz. That is not going to free up General So to try to make this blitz. Well, he'll do it with the dodge. Here he comes. 1-die blitz. He takes the both down result because of the block skill. Well done by the Dinnerbell Darling. Great positioning to block down the Crocs. Gets the 1-die, works out due to the block skill. Very, very well done. Doug the Minotaur finished the Chaos Cup in second place with just a single loss, and that was in the finals. Turn 5 now for the friendly Neighbor Kaiju. Stands up the Merc Crocs. They've got players to get the block on number 7. Probably even make it the blitz. So going straight for the blitz. 2-die blitz. Gets the POW he needed. Breaks armor, gets a stun. Now it's just a matter of who's going to try to pick this ball up. Doesn't really matter so much with the TV1000 team. He can make this gig safe, and he doesn't have to score this turn if he doesn't want to, so long as he can pick this ball up. Clive says stun might mean he can stall one more turn. Yes, indeed. Failed the pickup. He needs to spend. Well, maybe he doesn't need to spend the reroll. Wow! Failed the pickup on the reroll, but held on to the ball after playing hot potato with the SARS. That's still a turnover, however. Turn 5 now for the Dinnerbell Darlings. 2-die block. Here's the 2-die blitz. It's a dodge push. Oh, it's not because he has tackle. Brilliant. Well done by Kevin Bacon. Holy moly. Every time I switch scenes, for whatever reason, whenever I switch scenes, it does that. It's as if I hit control. Man, oh man. So if Merrick could have picked that ball up, he could have just parked this skink over here in the left wide zone. Dinnerbell Darlings fighting every single turn to stop this score. Source Dragon says Kula Yak is pretty bad at hanging onto that egg. A Monster Hunter reference. if you're unaware. Fails a GFI here. Spends a reroll. Fail the dodge with number 4. The Troll Slayer is going to stay lying on the ground. That'll be a turnover. Had to do something to get players out of their predicaments. Turn 6 now for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. Still haven't done all the Monster Hunter Rise content, or the Daybreak content. That is, I killed one of what do they call them? The Great whatevers. I've done one of those. I think I'm level Hunter rank 72, maybe. Two-die block on Kevin Bacon. Gets the PAL here. Looking for a 9+. Doesn't get it. Toby Kadachi, the number 14 skink, can stand up, try to pick this ball up and score. It's going to be a dodge to a pickup to score. He has one reroll remaining. Failed the dodge! Ball scatters into the end zone. Oh, boy. That wasn't even due to tackle. That's just a good old-fashioned failed dodge. Did I block at the line against the number 13 skink? That's not a bear-off. That's not even remotely a bear-off. Gets the knockdown. Stand-up blitz. This will work due to the block skill. Is this a blitz to go after the ball? It is. Kevin Bacon can't hold on to the ball either. Another turnover. Did somebody grease this ball? Turn 7 for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. Boy, they're in a bit of a pickle here. We might see a dodge to try to surf Kevin Bacon, and then a pickup to score. A dodge blitz to surf Kevin Bacon? No, can't do that. Well, no, you can dodge out this way because there's no tackle here. And then here, try to blitz Kevin Bacon. But boy, that's... He can make it a... Yeah, Kevin Bacon with a strength of 4 is just rough. Kevin Bacon is just such a big target. To get to remove him from the pitch would be a great boon for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. 50 seconds left to decide what he's going to do here in this penultimate turn of the first half. Oh, a lightning bolt! He's gonna spend the lightning bolt. Kevin Bacon is stunned, so he's not gonna remove Kevin Bacon, but he's gonna go for the ball pickup to try to score. Just needs to pick the ball up. Failed the pickup. Needs to spend the final reroll. He's got it. 1-0. The friendly neighbor Kaiju take the lead. Wow! What a first half. That was crazy. Man. So back and forth every single turn. Indeed he did. Thank you for the bits, Clypheus. He decided, you know what? I want the score rather than removing Kevin Bacon. I think that's a decent call. 2 turns for the Dinnerbell Darlings to try to score here on offense. They'll be on offense in the second half. Clypheus says, well, wow, I'm not sure that's when he was hoping to use that wizard, but not a bad use for it. Yeah, not a bad use for it at all. Like if you want to get that score, if you think this is your opportunity to score, then yeah, not a bad use for it at all. Oftentimes, Merrick is by no means a new coach to the game, but oftentimes you'll see new coaches. They've got access to this stuff, right? You've got a wizard, you've got bribes, and they'll just burn through their resources very, very quickly. You see this in all sorts of games, right? But really, you don't want to spend resources unless you can convert that into something valuable. Whether that means injuring or killing or removing a key player, whether that means scoring a touchdown, whether that means preventing a score. You don't want to just burn through them. Merrick decided that this was the time to score, and so he made good use of that lightning bolt. Well done, 1-0. Dinnerbell Darlings setting up their defense currently. While they do that, why don't I do this? Not quite an anchor defense here for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. (11v11) on the pitch. Massive, massive line here for the Dinnerbell Darlings. They've got 2 turns to score. They're hoping for a riot that gives them an extra turn. Nine players on the line of scrimmage. Here's the kick. No kicker on a TV 1000 team. It's a quick snap. Dinnerbell Darlings are going to move one. Oh, wow, that's a deep kick. Well done. Well done. Great kick for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. It's going to be next to impossible. Well, I don't think he can score here. Let's see. 6 is 12 is not enough. Is Kevin Bacon on the line? He is. He could score then. Kevin Bacon gives him 16 movement points, and he just got a free one. There's only 13 spaces between the line of scrimmage, from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. S'mores Dragon says, I was about to ask if dwarves could score in 2 turns. Yes, indeed. It's going to be very, very, very difficult. He's got to go the entire length of the pitch. But he could do it. Turn 7 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. He can do it with Kevin Bacon. He can do it with, let's see, 4, 6 is 12. It's not enough. Kevin Bacon, he can do it with Gravy Crockett. He can do it with General Tso. And that looks to be it. So those are his 3 players who he's looking to score with. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He got a free movement point. He can do that with everyone. He can do that with absolutely everyone who's crossed the line of scrimmage. 2-die blitz. Gets a pal, number 14. He's looking for that 8+. He'll absolutely follow up here. Breaks armor, gets a stun. Great stun. The Darlings with 1 reroll left for the half. Take some marks in the left wide zone as well. Will he send General Tso down pitch? He will. I imagine we'll see the same with Kevin Bacon. He's got to be very, very mindful here. So if he has any chance of scoring, he's got to get his movements out of these players. And they're going to have to stay in range for the pass as well. Good pickup by Guac Holiday. 2 GFIs. Good pass. Good reception to General Custer. Well done. Is he going to attempt the handoff to Kevin Bacon? He is. Here we go. GFI handoff. Gets to the GFI. Good handoff to Kevin Bacon this game, man. This game, man. Run, Kevin Bacon. Run like the wind. Four seconds left. He's got to move Kevin Bacon. He's looking for an optimal place to put him. And that's where it'll be. That's where it'll have to be. Turn 8 for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. There's an assist on Kevin Bacon, playing defense as well. We'll see a blitz by number 5, I have to imagine. Still has the number 12 skink free as well. May as well move him into position. And then take the blitz with number 5. Everybody else is marked, though. It's going to take the blitz. Sports Dragon said almost a one-turn touchdown. I know. 2-9 blitz. Oh, it's a push. And he doesn't have a reroll. He's got to follow up and mark Kevin Bacon. I think he's got to take the mark with number 12. Can he get number 12 into position? He really can't. I stand corrected. I stand corrected. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to have to dodge out somebody over here as well. Failed the dodge. It's not going to do it. Kevin Bacon can either take a dodge to 2 GFIs, a dodge to a blitz on number 12. Either way, he can score in this half. He's probably running the calculus in his head right now. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Or, of course, you can go here. Take the blitz. Don't follow up and go here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's no GFIs. Oh, my goodness. So smart. Took the blitz instead without the ball carrier. That's going to free up Kevin Bacon to score. So smart. Well done. The Dinnerbell Darlings are going to tie this ball game up 1-1. Man. Oh, my goodness. They're going to tie it up 1-1. You reduced the 2 GFIs down to 1 GFI to the blitz. I spoke a little too soon. As we all know, GFIs failed 900% of the time. But ended up having the reroll to make it work out 1-1 at the end of the half. I did almost jinx it. Oh, man. Wow, what a half that was. Unbelievable. And even with the babe, the friendly neighbor Kaijus are not going to get back their knockout skink. Dinnerbell Darlings are now on offense. The game is tied 1-1. And the momentum is completely in their favor. The friendly neighbor Kaiju aren't necessarily playing for a draw here. They can try to get this ball back and win this game. It's anybody's ball game still. Still 11v11 on the pitch as well. Both teams get back their full complement of rerolls, 3 apiece. The friendly neighbor Kaiju have spent their wizard, so they no longer have that. Tonight's a doubleheader. After this game, we're going to have another Division B matchup. Donkey Teeth versus Carnivores. Dead Fred versus Nick Satan. That will be Wood Elves versus Kislev Circus. I'm excited to see that one as well. That'll be up immediately after this game. Friendly neighbor Kaiju setting up in an anchor defense. Keeping 3 of those Sarai mobile. S'mores Dragon said, how many coaches used the same team last time? How many, how many lizards? I think 3. It was a lot. 8 players on the line of scrimmage for the Dinnerbell Darlings. And why not when you have all that guard? S'mores Dragon says, oh, like instead of starting a new team. For the Spike Magazine trophy, everybody has returned with their previous team except for 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 new teams. Norse has made a return since for the first time since the Chaos Cup in Season 1. Dinnerbell Darlings decided to go with the 5-man offensive line instead. Here's the kick. And they're going to get to try to pick this ball up without having to roll for it during the turn. It's not going to go in the hands of Kevin Bacon. It's going to go in the hands of Gravy Crockett Jr. instead. We'll see if he can catch it. He can't. You know why? Because his hands are full of gravy. That's why. 2-dive block at the line. Works out due to the block skill. Gets an injury! Autosaurus, that's huge! Well done. Took out one of the 5 Sauruses. Gets a knockdown on the left defensive tackle as well. Moves in to take the mark on the Crocs. 2-dive block on the Mercenary Crocs coming up. Works out. Queso Bill has the block skill. Because of course he does. He's Queso Bill. He knows cheese and he knows blocks. That's what he knows. Dinnerbell Darlings picking off the defensive line. Going in for the 2-dive blitz against number 5. This is going to be a chain push. Doesn't follow up. Takes a mark on number 3. This is the big weakness of Lizard teams. They're so low in agility that if you mark them, the only way they're reasonably getting away is on a blitz. Good pickup by Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon advances to the Darlings' own 4-yard line. Turn 9 for FNK. Dwarves are very, very resilient and very, very bashy, but they're also very, very slow. Not that you would know that from the last touchdown, but... Takes a 2-dive block on Soy Rogers. Gets the knockdown. He's got to be very careful of getting picked off, just like these 2 players have here. When we say picked off, what we mean is, you have players in front, you get some players behind, and now where do these players go? They can't go anywhere, especially at low agility. Everything's a dodge. It's up against so much guard. There's really, even if it's not up against a lot of guard, typically you'll be up against so much strength that there's really just no way out, and you are effectively taken out of the drive. Can't reasonably dodge at AG1. "30 seconds to go for FNK here. They're deciding what they want to do. I imagine they might try to position a skink or two as harassers. Doesn't really need to keep a secondary in place. There's not a reasonable threat of the passing game. So you can try to start sending some players off to the flank or perhaps behind the cage. Start trying to close down this cage and force the Dwarven team to roll dice that he doesn't want to roll. You saw FNK do that pretty effectively in the first turn. 2-die blitz gets a push, follows up. Breaks armor on number 12. Gets a stun. He's going to foul Paul Funyon. Doesn't get anything out of the foul. Does not get called off the pitch. Turn 10 now for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Knocks down number 5 soundly. Says, "Get down." 2-die block now on number 8. I'm sorry, on the Crocs, which happens to be number 8. Levy says, "I feel like this is a lot of armor breaks." Yeah, it is. I think it is a lot of armor breaks. Two-die block on number 7. He'll get a push. He'll get a follow-up block out of this, though. There's the follow-up block. This will work out due to the block skill. Stands up Soy Rogers. It's marked by the Levasioth and the number 12 Skink here in the left wide zone. Blitz still on the table. He's got a 2-die. Well, no, he doesn't. He's got a 2-die on the Saurus if he wants to get a blitz with Kevin Bacon. Frenzy blitz on the Skink. Gets a push. He'll get a frenzy follow-up here. It's going to be a good knockdown. Doesn't break armor. Kevin Breakin. Kevin Breakin 2, Electric Boogaloo. Kevin Bacon crosses the line of scrimmage to FNK's 6-yard line over in the left wide zone. Turn 10 back to the friendly neighbor Kaiju. You can see, look at this. He's got this protective screen here, effectively picking off the Crocs. The Crocs going to have to trundle to get back into the drive. Does have the free Saurus over on the right side of the line. He'll need to move that Saurus back into play as well. FNK have enough free or easily freed players to get a defense going over here in the left wide zone, I think. Failed to stand up with the Crocs due to boneheaded. Needs to be very, very careful of the number 13 dodge. That's a dodge against a tackle player. Pulls 2 players back, get in front of the ball. Number 16 will action next. He's got to be a little careful of giving up mid-pitch. Moves number 16. He's setting up columns in front of this would-be cage. Whoa, the dodge worked. Man, oh man. Good stunty dodge. There's 5 players. 5 players in front of the ball carrier. Takes a 1-die block against Soy Rogers. Probably doesn't follow up. Oh, he does follow up. He's on the ball carrier. Ooh. Let's see if that works out. Turn 11 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. We might try to block down these 2 players and then shift a cage over to mid-pitch. There's Dauntless. Gets a push. Frenzy follow-up. Gets the knockdown. Well done. That's 1. Two-die block on the number 12. Skink works out. Can't use the dodge skill against tackle. Gets a stun out of it as well. Looks like he might try to blitz with Kevin Bacon, or he might try to set up the surf on number 4. But I doubt he wants to keep the ball carrier undefended. Yeah, there's that blitz with the ball carrier. Kevin Bacon's going to surf Asaurus. My favorite carnival ride. Well done. And now Kevin Bacon's going to reposition. He's going to get in a position in a cage of some sort. He can go here. He could go somewhere here. It depends on what his next actions are going to do. But he has movement with Kevin Bacon to take. He's going to move here. Fair enough. He'll close off this cage to the front and then take his blocks behind the cage. Secured the ball carrier, secured the cage, and now here come those blocks. 2-die block gets a push on number 5. Gets another 2-die block. This time against number 7. Gets the knockdown. This is going to free up number 10, Queso Bill. Remember, the Crocs, granted they're on the ground, but even if they weren't due to being boneheaded, they wouldn't have any tackles on them, so this lane would be free. Advancing players forward of the cage. And close up the cage with Queso Bill. Well done. Turn 11 back to the friendly neighbor Kaiju. If FNK can recover this ball, they can score very, very quickly. And that's almost certainly what they'd want to do, because The Dinnerbell Darlings cannot score quickly. Stands up the Crocs. Almost a minute down here in turn 11. Friendly neighbor Kaiju trying to figure out their action order. Roll double skulls, had to spend a reroll. We're gonna get the knockdown on General Saw. Surprised he didn't reposition his defense a little bit first. Going for the blitz. 2-die blitz on General Custer. Oh, that's double skulls. That's going to be a turnover. That is a big, big loss for FNK. Turn 12, back to the Dinnerbell Darlings. They get a stun on a barrel. Well done. Well done. Obviously didn't hit him in his head. Two-die blitz on number 16 gets a push. Set up for a potential surf down the line. Gravy Crockett moves forward, marks the 2 down pitch skinks. Ball carrier is going to set up around the 20-yard line. Sets up on the 18-yard line. Big loss on that block there. I'm not sure that block was worth it, personally. I think you just want to keep his defense in front and start harassing with the skinks to try to force the Dinnerbell Darlings to make rolls that they don't want to make, like a 1-die block or perhaps a bad Troll Slayer blitz or something. Dinnerbell Darlings are in scoring position, but they have to be careful. They cannot score too early because FNK has a ton of skinks. They can score very, very quickly if they're given the ball. Stand-up blitz by number 3 gets a knockdown on Queso Bill. Chain block's gotta move a poor skink to mark the ball carrier. We'll see if this is a big brain play. Minute 14 remaining in this final turn of the third quarter. Friendly neighbor Kaiju have a lot to think about in a minute 13 seconds. They need to stop the score. They need to figure out how to get the ball back and then score themselves. It's going to be a very, very tough sell here. 2-die block gets a push against Wyatt Burke. Boy. 3-die uphill block. He's going to get beaten up unless he re-rolls it. Oh, he's just going to get beaten up. Oh boy, that's a turnover. Fourth quarter begins. A block to be taken against number 16. The cage will be set up just outside the end zone. Three-die block gets the foul on number 16. Breaks armor, gets an injury on a skink, and he gets beaten up by the crowd. He'll be out next game. Oh no, nothing. He'll be out for the rest of this game. One-man player advantage now. Fifth Dinnerbell Darlings. Two-die block. This will be a dodge push. Clyface asks, does the next game start at 9:30 or immediately after this game, whichever is later? Yes, that is correct. The next game will start at 9:30 or immediately after this game, whichever is later, which is looking to be 9:30. Unless the two coaches like chime in and say, hey, we'll play now or something. There's the cage up. He's going to stall till turn 16 if he can at all help it. And I imagine he can. Takes a one-die block. Gets a foul number 5 back at the line of scrimmage. This is going to free up the Sunday Kid. Two-die block on number 12. Gets a knockdown. The Sunday Kid marks number 7. Turn 13 for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. Got to make some big moves here. Friendly neighbor Kaiju with 2 team rerolls remaining. 2 for 4 turns. In a real tight spot here defensively. If they want to stop the score, if they want to get this ball back, they're going to have to take some very big risks. I hope they've prayed to Nuffle. Two-die block with the Crocs is going to be a push on Paul Funyon. .55 seconds left in turn 13. Merrick trying to figure out a way to try to go after this ball. I think it's nothing but risk-taking, honestly. Takes 2-die block on Queso Bill, gets a push. He definitely wanted something better out of that. Wow, takes the dodge. He's got to re-roll it. He's got to re-roll it. He can't. It's not. It's gonna be a push. Oh, it's better. Better than a skull. I imagine he would have tried to take this the other way. He would have dodged out number 14. Number 14 is not against tackle. Come in this way. Gone after Kevin Bacon. But he's going to push Kevin Bacon toward the end zone. Now he's got to... Oh my gosh. Another good dodge. Number 14. That's not a good dodge. He gets injured. S'mores Dragon asks, does uphill mean the other coach gets to pick? Yeah. So when you do your block, you compare strength values, including assists for both sides. Whoever has the higher strength value gets to pick which die gets selected. So an uphill block is when your opponent is when you're going and your opponent gets to pick the die. It's pretty bad. He didn't have a better option. He had to take the uphill block. But a 3-die uphill is as bad as it gets for block dice results. The Baroth gets injured. Good. How dare you call yourself a Baroth? You fraud. Clavius, thank you for the bits. Cage gets reset. One of the two problematic skinks has been removed from the pitch. Number 11 has got tackle to deal with a couple of times. Try to get at Kevin Bacon once more, but I think that's all he can do. I think that's all he can do. I think he needs to stand up number 12. I think he just needs to start moving players this way. It might be too little too late at this point. But he certainly can't afford this stall. Five-man player advantage for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Stand up blitz, that's what he's got to do. Another 3-die uphill block. And he's got to re-roll this yet again. His final re-roll. That's going to be a turnover. Oh man, turn 15 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. Hey, triple pals happen, right? I mean, I've never seen it in my entire life, but triple pals happen. Dinnerbell Darlings will shift this cage to mid-pitch. Excuse me, sir. Let me just step around you. Turn 15 for FNK. Their final shot at stopping this score. I believe in you, number 11. Tsitsi Yaku, you can do it, buddy. You can do it. I believe in you. I mean, I don't know who's going to pick up the ball, but I believe in you. The Mercenary Crocs doesn't believe in you. The Mercenary Crocs is perplexed. Oh. Is this a blitz? It's got to be a blitz, right? Yeah, good effort. Got injured. Got injured. But he'll be back next week. 7-man player advantage. But that's going to be it. Turn 16 for the Dinnerbell Darlings. They're going to waltz this ball into the end zone. 2-1. They're going to score one turn remaining for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. Unless, of course, there is a riot. If there's a riot, it's a guaranteed extra turn. And the friendly neighbor Kaiju will have I was going to say a decent shot. They have a shot trying to tie the ball game. Clavius asks, how many SPP was he trying to give Doug this game? There we go. That knocked out Skinks finally back into the game. Merrick's got to set up very aggressively here on offense. Try to score in the case of a riot. You can see Doug the Minotaur is going to pull everybody of importance off the line of scrimmage. He has to set up a 3. Everyone else is going to defend the end zone. 5-man line for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. Yeah, they're going to have to... There's no kicker in play, so they'll have to put all but 1 on the line. Here's the kick. He's hoping for a riot. That's not it. 2-1's going to be the end. Some blocks, maybe a pass, a GG foul. That'll be the end of this game. S'mores Dragon says Dinnerbell Darlings are going to come back next game with new skink armor. I think they got enough carvings out of it. I think it's going to look beautiful on them. Trying to get some SPP on number 10 here. Doesn't get it. That's the end of the game. 2-1. The Dinnerbell Darlings are going to win this one. Well done. What a game that was. An amazing first half. That was unbelievable. Dinnerbell Darlings holding on to this ball for 56% of the game, where the friendly neighbor Kaiju only had it for 6% of the game, believe it or not. SPP for the game. GG's indeed. Thank you for the bits. 16 SPP for the Dinnerbell Darlings, 10 for the friendly neighbor Kaiju. That's not a bad haul at all. The Bear-Off is going to pick up MVP, while what did Guac Holiday do? Get out of here, Guac Holiday. We'll take a look at the schedule before we leave. Next up on the old docket is going to be Donkey Teeth versus Carnivores. That'll be tonight at 9:30 p.m. EDT. The way this is going to work is we'll kind of go back to the... We're not going to end the stream. We're just going to go back to the countdown. We'll change out some graphics, and the game will otherwise start as normal. And the Damaged Dragons versus the Brewmeisters are currently playing as well. We'll see if they're done by the time the Donkey Teeth game starts up, but that's coming up in just a few minutes. Again, we're not going to stop the stream. We'll just reset to the countdown and keep this doubleheader going. I'm deciding if I want to do the outro or not. I'll do the outro for YouTube. That's what I'll do. One game left to be scheduled, and when that game gets scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB, here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Twitter, Mastodon, and Facebook. You can listen to our podcast, Mammal Talk, and watch previous games on our YouTube channel.
Get up
Play,
to bar!
that's not
Stab
right
in
at
the
all. There we go. Play Blood Bowl. You can play Blood Bowl, Blood Bowl 2, and Blood Bowl 3 on Steam and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store until, I don't know, 10 minutes from now. Enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you back here in a few minutes.